My name is Susan Stint, and I am Director of Volunteer Services for Mt.Hood Hospice. I'm very happy to be able to share a poem with you at this time of remembrance. It's called Peace My Heart. It's one of my favorites that sits at my desk, and I read it every time I'm in the office sitting at my desk. I'd like to share it with you. Peace, my heart, let the time for the parting be sweet. Let it not be a death, but completeness. Let love melt into memory and pain into songs. Let the flight through the sky end in the folding of the wings over the nest. Let the last touch of your hands be gentle, like the flower of the night. Stand still, O beautiful end, for a moment and say your last words in silence. I bow to you and hold up my lamp to light you on your way. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Fred Vogel, a chaplain with Mt.Hood Hospice. I'm so glad that you could be with us for this time of remembering. I wish we could be face to face, but like so many other customs and traditions lately, we have had to adjust to a new way of doing things to get through this coronavirus pandemic. For over 20 years, we have found it helpful to get together before the holidays with people like us who have lost a loved one. And we remember together by, in this public setting, paying tribute to them by saying, "You are not forgotten." The person you're remembering today may have died before the pandemic altered how we grieve, but it's likely that some of you are struggling because your grief is under attack indirectly by an unseen virus. How does a pandemic attack grief? The poet Jim Harrison wrote, "Death steals everything but our stories." If death steals everything but our stories, pandemics like the horrors of war or famines attempt to steal our stories by delaying the time that we have to gather others to retell the life story of people that were very important to us. In funerals, memorials, and celebrations of life, like we used to have, we heard how people that are dear to us influenced coworkers or other family members, even neighbors. We get together and share those stories together. But grief gets more complicated when these cultural rituals are interrupted. Some of you could not even be close to your loved one when they died because of restrictions by the hospital or the facility that they were in. Never before in our lifetimes have we had those kinds of restrictions, and it hurts. Perhaps your children or grandchildren or siblings couldn't come and be with you because of the shutdown of the airlines. I've gathered 4 times with families in cemeteries trying to keep up a custom. But in that setting, the first one, there could only be 12 people. And we all wore masks, stood at a distance, and it did not seem normal. Other times it got up to 25 people. But still, some of those families wanted to show pictures of their loved ones, but they couldn't do it. It feels like the pandemic is blocking the story that we want everyone to hear, because the person we have lost was remarkable. They weren't exactly like anyone else, and we want to let that story be known. So, how does a pandemic attack grief? It attacks grief by forcing us into some form of isolation, and that makes telling our stories more complicated. So we want to acknowledge this is a season of complicated grief. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and like you, we look forward to the day we can once again get everyone together and tell the story of your person. What is that delayed celebration of life going to be like? We don't know, because we've never been through this before. You may not even want to have some kind of a celebration later, and that's okay. But mark this down. The pandemic cannot steal our stories. It may put off the telling of our stories the way we want them told, but together we will remember her. We will remember him. We will remember them. Physically isolated? Yes. Socially isolated? No. Together we will not forget. Together we remember. Together we remember.